Welcome back. In this step we are going to do our kitchen. That includes appliances, the stove, the sink, the refrigerator, as well as base cabinets, upper cabinets, and our countertops. So, excuse me. To start out, we are going to look at our PDF, and we see that on the final floor plan we have all of our cabinets tagged. So we're going to start in the corner with CC1. That's corner cabinet 1. That's the base cabinet, the bottom cabinet that sits on the floor. So we see CC1 is a base corner unit angled. So we're going to hop over to Revit, look at our floor plan, and we are going to go to Component. Nice reminder to save my project. And we're going to look at our pull down, and we're going to see what we have in here. So we've got desk, we've got a pattern, we've got some parking spaces, some trees, and no cabinets. So we're going to edit type and load. Again, components work the same way as doors and windows and walls as far as loading things in. So we're going to go back to US Imperial. We're going to go to casework. Then we're going to base cabinets, and we're going to pick base cabinet corner unit and hit OK. Now this needs to be rotated because that 45-degree line needs to be facing the other way. So we're going to hit spacebar to rotate it, and then notice how it snaps in to the faces of my drywall. I can go ahead and place that. So next up, if we hop back over to our schedule, is base cabinet 1. So looking at BC1 is a 4-drawer 24-inch. So whoops, back to Revit. Component, edit type load again, and we're just going to repeat this process. So I have a base cabinet. We said it is a 4-drawer 24-inch. So base cabinet 4-drawer, and we are going to select 24-inch from our pull down and OK. Make this a little bit smaller. And that is going to go right here. Now, one of the things that I recommend, because it's easy to get confused when there's no, hey, this is the front of the cabinet, is to keep your 3D view open, and I would have it open in the same fashion that I have the example on the Word document. So back to our first floor plan and look at our PDF, and we're just going to repeat this, getting all of our cabinets in. So I have BC2, which looks to be a 12-inch unit, and it is a 4-drawer 12-inch. So component, base cabinet, 4-drawer, 12-inch, and we can just scroll and find this because we have that whole family loaded, unlike the Windows that loaded all the instances. So we're going to go ahead, rotate that, put it in, and double check our 3D view. That looks good. Close East there. Go ahead and save real quick. And then this is going to be a repetition of doing all of that. So here I've got my stove. So SE5 is my stove's tag, and that is going to be under specialty equipment. 5 is a 30 by 26-inch range. So we will go to architecture component and edit type, load, and that's not going to be in casework. That's going to be under specialty equipment, domestic, and then we're going to go mid-range, and here's our range gas. If the exact type isn't exactly what I have, that's fine. Like I said before, versions change, files change, so we're going to go ahead and throw that guy in. And going back, scroll up to our cabinets, and I would imagine that BC3 will be next. So it is, that's a 24-inch door and drawer. So a little bit different, not a 4 drawer. So come to Revit, edit type, load, back into casework, and base cabinets, and that is a base cabinet double door 2 drawer. Nope, I got that wrong. Go back to our schedule. Single door 24 inch. Okay, so we will edit, load again, base cabinet single door with drawer. So we can see the difference there. So if you look at the preview, it really kind of helps. And just remember that if you don't get something in correct, this is a 24 inch, you can always go ahead and change it. So here I didn't get this put in correctly, which is why we go and check. So if I hit spacebar, it will rotate. I'm going to go back to my floor plan, and it is gone. So let's go ahead and look at our 3D view, and this needs to rotate 90 degrees. And if I click top up here on my view cube, I know that it needs to rotate 90 degrees counterclockwise. So if we pick this rotate, and it automatically picks its center point, so I'm going to pick vertically as my first direction, and then I'm going to roll my mouse over 90 degrees counterclockwise, and then I can take this and move it up to here. Try that again. Oh, it's not. Okay. So we need to move it twice. We need to move it up and out. So that's that. Take a look at my 3D view. That looks nice. So back to my first floor plan. And this is the unit here with the sink in it. So if we look at our PDF, we see that that is base cabinet 4. Base cabinet 4 is a sink unit, double door, 48. So we'll come to Revit, component, and load that. So this is double door sink, and the difference on a sink unit is this here on a normal cabinet would open as a drawer or 2 drawers. This is just a false front here because the sink occupies that space behind it, so you can't put drawers in there. So that's going to be a 48, and we are going to place that along the wall. Check our 3D view. That looks good. So then our last cabinet should be base 5, which is a single door 24, and that is the same as this cabinet here. So we can copy this from this base point down to the midpoint of that. Take a look, and that looks really good. Go ahead and save real quick. And our next step will be to put in our upper cabinets. I'm going to go ahead and throw a fridge in here just so that that's out of the way. So if we go component, edit type, and then back to specialty equipment, domestic, mid-range, and then we've got refrigerator. You could do a French door, you could do a side-by-side, doesn't really matter to me, just give me a fridge. And we will place that up here with a little gap, not quite that much. One way that you can use to move, by the way, is you can use the arrow keys on the keyboard, and that will go in a smaller increment. The increment changes the more closely zoomed in you get, and we'll move it over a little bit to leave some overhang for our countertop when we go to put that in. So we'll take a look at our 3D view. That looks really nice. So back to it, we need a corner cabinet. So we're going to go back into our casework folder. So we're going to go wall cabinet, and we need a corner unit wall. Now I've got the tall one in the example. Whichever one you put in is fine with me. We'll go ahead and place this and rotate it. And For whatever reason, it doesn't want to snap in correctly. I'm not totally sure why that is, but we're just going to go ahead and adjust it, move it over a little bit, take a look, and that looks really nice. So then the last thing for our wall cabinets is going to be to continue to put them in, whoops, wrong page. So I need upper cabinet 1, which is going to be longer because it's going to go from this, which is narrower, all the way over to the edge. So UC1 is going to be a 3-foot double door wall. So I can go component, and we're going to go upper double door wall. We wanted a 36-inch unit, and we're going to place that here. Now again, it didn't go quite where I wanted it to, so I'm just going to go ahead and adjust that real quick and look at my 3D view. And there's that. So we also need one over here, UC2, which is a 24-inch. So now it gets a little easier. I'm going to go component. Since the upper cabinet double door wall was my last one, I can now just pick it from my pull down, scroll, and place that. That one looks like it did line up nicely. Double check my 3D view. That looks good. The doors are on the right side. No upper cabinet over the stove. There would typically have a microwave that would go here, or an exhaust hood. A lot of times the microwaves have an exhaust fan built into it. So I need 2 more upper cabinets, one on either side. Those should be 24 inch as well to match my base cabinets. That one did not go in correctly. Neither did that one, so we'll go ahead and just adjust those real quick. Move them down so that they get lined up. Take a look at our 3D view. And so we've got a problem with our window, and it doesn't line up with our sink. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and fix that. I'm not sure why that happened. It might be the stove that I put in that's different, but it's not a big deal. We'll go ahead and pick our window and then move it from the window's midpoint to the line we just drew, and that's going to be off by 7/8 of an inch. So I'm going to move it down 7/8 of an inch, and that'll make that an even number there. So there's that, and that looks good. So our last thing that we need to do is our countertops. So we'll go component, load family. It's another way to load that. And go countertops. So we need a countertop L shape. Actually, that's a countertop. That might be one that I give you guys. Let me double check that. That's not what I want. Checking here first. There's a utility sink. We'll need that for the mechanical room, so that's probably located under Revit blocks. Interesting. Okay, so let's go ahead and try to find that. Countertop L-shaped 2. There we go. And that has the 45-degree corner, which is what I was looking for. So sorry that took so long. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to place that up against our drywall. And then sometimes it's easier to modify these if you go in and you look at your 3D view also. So right now for this countertop, we've got leg 1 and leg 2, and it looks like, well, let's just go ahead and change this. So this is leg 1, so we want that to be 5 feet 1 inch. And then leg 2, we will take and drag up to the edge of our stove. And then we'll take a look at our 3D view. That looks really good. Don't worry about materials. We're not going to get that in depth with changing materials of countertops to make it look like stone or specific materials. So the last countertop that we need, we'll go ahead and save real quick, is going to be a straight with a sink. So we're going to go component, load, and we want countertop with sink. And rotate it. Now, this again happens to be the right length, but our sink hole is not in the right spot. So we're going to grab that and drag it. So our height has changed on this. Change our location to 4 feet, and I'm not quite sure. Let's take a look at this to get a reference. So elevation from level is 0. That's interesting. So our height is off the floor. What's the host for this? Very interesting. This is not planned. I'm not quite sure why this is doing this, but we can apply negative. See, I fell into my own trap. -6 inches relative to our floor, and that looks almost there. Try -5. I'm not quite sure why this is doing this, but we're just going to adjust it until it's right. Okay, so there we go. There's our kitchen. Again, if yours looks similar to mine, same cabinets, appliances can be a little bit different, but you know, just the general idea of importing our cabinets and our countertops. And actually, if I take a look at this, I can peek through the window. That cabinet, I can't tell if that's at the right height or not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick this wall, and we can turn off different instances. So I'm going to hide in view the element, not the category. So the category would be walls. The element is that particular wall. So when we go ahead and look at this, we see that for some reason our countertops are at different elevations, as are our cabinets. That is very interesting. So that host is there, and this is the same host. Let's grab all this real quick. That's very interesting. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to do a little bit of digging on that. If you come up with that same problem, I would say go ahead and don't worry about it. And if I can find a solution, I'll throw it on at the end of the video. Okay, welcome back. I did find my error, and I could go back and go ahead and cut that part out and edit it in and but everybody makes mistakes and everybody's got things going on, and so a lot of times it's, frustrations with CAD with students is trying to figure out what's happening, why is it doing that. Not gonna lie, I was a little frustrated. It was very frustrating, and then I realized that these cabinets that I selected are vanity cabinets. So if we look at this one here, this is a vanity cabinet that would go into a bathroom. So what we're going to do is we're going to change that to a base cabinet, and that was supposed to be what was that supposed to be? Let's go back to our PDF and check it out. So that is supposed to be BC3. BC3 is a single door 24-inch. Okay, so if we pick this, we set our elevation back to 0, and we edit type, and then we change that to a base cabinet. Not in here, so we'll go ahead and select this, edit type, load, and then we need to find our base cabinet. Single door and drawer, and that is a 24-inch. And now this countertop's elevation should be 0, offset. And now all I have to do is change this cabinet to be the same. I'm going to scroll up to base cabinet, single door and drawer, 24-inch, and then set that offset to be 0. Apply that. And the last one is this sink. So we're going to go ahead and pick this, edit load, and that is going to be a base cabinet, double door sink unit, and that was a 48. So we're going to change our size and change our offset lastly to 0. Hit apply, and everything looks good. So thanks for sticking through with me on this video. That's going to wrap up kitchens, and we'll see you in the next one.